Okay. Show me.
Hi there guys, welcome back to the Dutch FC channel for a look at this, the Sky-Hero Anakin. And this is not the quadcopter I did a build series on. This is the ready to fly version with the tubular arms. Now I have a problem with this quadcopter. I've had it for about 6 months I think. The last time I flew it, it kept on dropping out of the sky for no apparent reason. I was simply hovering it and it kept on dropping out of the sky. So what I first want to do is show you what happens, and after that we'll try and remedy that problem. So let me hook up a battery and we'll see if it still has that problem. Here we go. Okay, we are armed and let's hover this quadcopter here. And I'm gonna do nothing other than hovering it. And yeah, let's hope we have the same problem. Okay, yeah, this was what I was kinda afraid of. Damn it. It flies just fine. Now, one of the things I was suspecting was the problem was the ESC. See, this is a 3S quadcopter, 3S setup, and I have flown it on 4S. So I thought, well, maybe one of the ESCs is the... Oh! Look at that! Now it did drop out of the sky. Okay, well, not a good thing, but well, kinda a good thing. Now the weird thing is that I can rearm it, as you can see, and I can then fly it. The battery is obviously fully charged, and it's a reasonably new battery as well. But well, let's see. Yeah, this quad has a CC3D, sorry, flight controller. Yeah. And it doesn't have Betaflight or Cleanflight on it. What is this, Libre pilot or well, open pilot stuff? I'm not that familiar with it, and there's no black box logging or anything. It is annoying that it flies better. Oh, by the way, my LiPo is falling out. Let's try and remedy that. Yeah, obviously it's very annoying that it's not dropping out of the sky as much or as often as I had the last time. Last time I flew it, I could just hover it for about 5 seconds and then it would drop out of the sky. This time things do look better, but this doesn't have me confident in flying it FPV, obviously. Okay, regrettably I could only show you one fail. But the first thing I'm gonna try and do to remedy this is put Betaflight on this CC3D board. If that doesn't help, I'll replace the flight controller with an F3 flight controller probably. Because the airframe itself, motors and such, they are really great. It's a lightweight quadcopter. Yeah, only one fail. Okay, nevertheless, let's get back to the studio and we'll try and get Betaflight on this CC3D flight controller. Here we go. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is download a Betaflight firmware for our CC3D flight controller. Now this Anakin comes with, let's have a looky, this, an aluminium encased CC3D flight controller, and I just looked it up on some sales page, and it's a, let's see, CC3D Mini. So if I'm looking for a target, yeah, maybe there's a mini target. So next thing you do is you surf to the GitHub, this one, github.com Betaflight releases, yes, and I'm just gonna pick the latest one, 3.1.7 at this moment, and let's see. So here are all my targets, my firmwares for the different flight controllers, and here's a CC3D version, right? However, this is a hex version build, and that's not what we want for this upgrade. We need to scroll down to the binaries and you download these. Takes a little second. There we go. And if I now open this binary, you'll see that it contains bin files, and that's what we need for our CC3D flight controller. Now there's only one over here, the CC3D OPBL, and that's the one we'll be using. So at this point we go to the Open Pilot Graphical Control Center thing. Oh, ground controls. Okay, you don't want to connect your flight controller to the USB port at this moment. We switch to the firmware page, and then we say rescue over here, rescue, and it will give you 20 seconds to connect your USB port. I have already done this upgrade, so I won't do it again, but once you've connected your flight controller, it'll then give you a knob over here, a button to open that file, so that bin file, and then flash it. And that is it. That's everything you need to do in Open Pilot, the ground control station. Okay, next thing we'll do is we switch to Betaflight, so we'll close this one down. There we go. Okay, Betaflight. Okay, connect. I obviously have the quadcopter connected to the USB port, and I've already done a few setup things. And let's see, in case you also want to do this upgrade, if you have this flight controller or another CC3D flight controller and you want to run Betaflight, let's see. Yes, I set UART1 to serial RX, so for my receiver. Then on the configuration tab, I had to use one shot 125, which is fine, of course. I disabled the motor speed separate from PID. I have my motor spinning up when I arm the quadcopter. And in this case I had to set the roll offset to 180 degrees. Otherwise my my flight controller seemed to be looked to be upside down, so that's not what you want, of course. And as you can see, serial RX, SBOS, and that's what I use, and that works. Let me show you. Here is my receiver tab, and yay, my inputs actually do something. Great. Okay, one thing of note when you switch from a CC3D Open Pilot setup to Betaflight, the motor order in Betaflight is different. Here, let me show you. I've got a few images. Here, this is the motor order in Open Pilot. Bottom right is 3, 2, 4, 1, and in Betaflight it's 1, 2, 3, 4. So we need to address that. And what you do is in Betaflight, in the Select tab, you enter, well actually let me show you, I've prepared that in a text file here. These are the resources that came pre-installed, so to speak. And these are the ones I'm now running. So I've switched out a few motor outputs. So if you run this part over here, then your motor order should be good to go. And I've also done a recalibration of my ESCs, pretty standard fare of course. And other than that, that's it. One thing that's very irritating is that every time I do anything in Betaflight, like save and such, I need to reconnect. Oh well, actually maybe not if the battery is also connected. Looks like it. Okay, so if I don't have a LiPo connected to my quadcopter, I need to disconnect and reconnect the USB cable every time I do anything in Betaflight, like save stuff and such. Okay, and let's see. Yeah, my processor load is at around 40%, which is pretty high. And I've got my gyro and pit loops set to 2K, which look to be kind of the maximum I'd want to use. If I'd only be using acro mode, well actually most times I do, I could disable the accelerometer, and in that case I probably could go to 4K on the gyro update frequency. So that's something you'll have to decide. If you ever fly in auto level mode, you obviously need to have the accelerometer engaged. That'll cost quite a bit of processor power. Other than that, I have nothing engaged. This board does not have memory, as you can see, so I can't do any black boxing, boo-hoo. Yeah, it doesn't have a LED strip, I don't use telemetry. At this moment it doesn't even have a beeper. Oh, that's not an option. So, yeah, for me, I'd definitely disengage the accelerometer and pump up the gyro update frequency a little. And that's it. So at this point we can take the quad out for a retest. Let's see if this actually works. Here we go. Okay, here we go. Take 2 for the Sky-Hero Anakin, now with Betaflight firmware. And at least it arms, and there you go, it flies. Yay, cool stuff. Oh, I'm looking straight into the sun. That's nice. Let's try and solve that a little. As you can see, I'm also running a DVR recording to see if I need to do a lot of tuning. But yeah, obviously the first thing on my mind is, does it fly? Oh, the min throttle is a bit too low. Or I should change the throttle curve a little. It responds to the throttle a little different from what I'm used to. That's not a problem. So far though, it flies. And I'm again flying it on a 3S. And this is a pretty light frame. It doesn't look light, as you would probably agree with me, but it is. Actually, when I get back home, I'll put it on the scale with a LiPo, but I don't think it'll be a lot more than 400 grams. Okay, let's see what flips look like. Oh, a lot better than with the open pilot stuff. Flips were super duper slow, and now they look very good. Yes, very clean. Oh, nice. Okay, well, as I mentioned before, if this would not have worked out, I'd replace the flight controller. Oh, the yaw rate. note to myself, the yaw rate is too slow. But if this would not have worked out, I would have replaced the flight controller with an F3 flight controller. But yeah, so far CC3D flight controllers have a little bit of a different feel. They feel a bit mushy, dampened, but not bad, and maybe it works out well with a light frame like this. And what more can I tell you? Yeah, this is a 6-inch quad, which means it runs on 6-inch propellers. Yeah, 2 blades, that's what came with the quad. And if that works out, I'm fine with that. Okay. Cool stuff. Flawless. Throttle curve a little different. Yaw rate. And that's basically it. Yeah, and the next thing, as you've probably seen in the DVR recording, it doesn't have an OSD. Neither does it have a buzzer. Oh, that's a nice combination. Yeah, so maybe it would be a good plan to replace the camera with one that has an OSD. The camera that's in it is an HS1177, so it's a good camera, but yeah, no OSD. Ooh, lost track of things. Okay, successful. Well, this video kinda worked out to be partially a how to get Betaflight onto a CC3D quadcopter, and this might be a very good time to do so. If you still have a CC3D flight controller in one of your multi-rotors, Betaflight will stop supporting those in a little while, this year I think. August, in the next release, I don't think there will be CC3D support anymore. Just like there won't be support for the F1 boards. So yeah, you've seen me upgrade this CC3D to Betaflight. It was easier than I had expected. Pretty straightforward. Yes, you do have to change out the motor order, and that was basically it. So maybe it'll be informative for you if you still have a CC3D quad. Tell me what you think. And if you have any questions, hit me up a comment down below. Thank you very much for watching. Hope to catch you on the next video. Bye bye.